This is Tina from TinaHills.com, and today I am here to discuss with you something really interesting. We are ending the year 2021, and what shall I say? There's a lot of misgivings, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of remembrance, a lot of all of that, of course, mingled with a dash of regret, maybe a bit of melancholia, a bit of depression, all of that. Okay, so we end this year, and this is the last month. So this is the last day of November, and then we enter November 2021. And it's going to be a really interesting time because there's a lot of things that's happening in your sidereal or Vedic chart. So let me begin by telling you some dates, right? Random dates. Full solar eclipse, which I've already discussed in Anuradha and Jeshta, happens on the 4th. Right on the 4th, this is the new moon in Scorpio, in sidereal Scorpio. And then Mars moves into Scorpio. Mars, the dispositor of the eclipse, moves into Scorpio the very next day. And I think this is a huge omen because when we have the eclipse in a sign and then the ruler of that sign enters it immediately, that means there's going to be some kind of reckoning with that dispositor. There's going to be something, and I told you, eclipses are cosmic recyclers. I hope you guys can hear me. If not, I again forgot my mic. How stupid. Hi. I've completely forgot my mic, so I don't even know if you guys heard me or not. Could you hear me? Did you hear anything? Oh wow, that is new to me. So let me get, now is it okay? Is the sound all right? Can you guys hear me? Now, as I was saying, so when Mars, the dispositor, moves into Scorpio the very next day, we can sense that there will be some kind of reckoning. And at that stage, we will be able to assess a lot of what's going on, especially in the houses and the aspects it's making. And a lot of things will possibly make sense. What doesn't make sense till, possibly even during the eclipse or before that, can suddenly start making sense, or finally being able to take an action that solve some of your complications, right? And what complications you thought were insurmountable. So here you have the opportunity to turn that around, right? When Mars moves into Scorpio. Now Venus moves into Capricorn. And again, when Mars, I said, moves into Scorpio, so it's going to do its rounds again through Vishakha Nakshatra, which is at the end of Libra and Scorpio. Then it'll move into Anuradha, and then it'll move into Jeshta, right? And Jeshta is exactly where we had the eclipse. So there's going to be some kind, actually we had, the Tithi began with Anuradha, and so these two signs, these two nakshatras are going to be really affected also by Mars coming in. It is the ruler of that particular sign. Now, we've spoken about Vishakha before, and in many videos I've spoken about Vishakha. So before going into too much of a detail, let me explain some stuff about you. And this is at the end of Libra. Remember, the end of Libra is a very important point. Okay, it's a very important point because that's when, Libra is the hiatus. Like I said, it is a waiting point. And from Scorpio, the journey into the realm of the dead becomes more pronounced, or into discipleship. So we shed off our material attachments and we move towards something spiritual, something elevated. So this is definitely going to happen now. One sec, let me just see if my, I don't understand what you meant by that. I'm sorry. But as I'm saying, that did we get this? That it's moving from Mars will again be entering. Mars moves into Scorpio, and Mars moves into Vishakha, then Anuradha, then Jeshta, right? And now about Vishakha is that the symbol is a potter's wheel or an archway. Very interesting, like come in, inviting you to come into the portal. From Libra through Scorpio begins the soul's descent into the netherworlds or the realms of the unconscious. Okay, so that's very important. Remember that. And Vishakha ruling planet is Jupiter. So when Mars is moving through, and Mars is already going into Scorpio on the 5th, and Vishakha first few padas fall in Libra. And no, I don't understand what you're trying to say. So as I was saying that when Mars moves through Vishakha, it interacts with Jupiter, right? Because Jupiter is the ruling planet of Vishakha Nakshatra, right? And then we move on to Anuradha. Now let me tell you some things about Vishakha. Directionality is east, so Jupiter related kriyas or prayogas that have to do with devtas like Ganpati, any kind of Agni or Havan, any kind of Agni puja like Havan, or even cleansing is very good. Getting just your higher thoughts aligned and synchronized. Yes, yes. Ishtadev, sure, sure, why not? Yes. Now let me just get back to this. Male tiger is the animal symbol, and the temperament is Rakshasa, so slightly demonic, slightly demonic. Okay, and then we move through, the deity is Indra and Agni. So like I was saying that Jupiter related kriyas you can do through, or prayogas you can do through Agni, a Homa. Now some of the famous people, Napoleon Bonaparte, I think, had his moon in Vishakha. Interesting. Health issues, again, Mars exacerbates health issues. Breasts, arms, reproductive systems, and stomach. So all of this can come into the scrutiny of Mars. Mars makes us aware of the problem, that okay, there is a problem, it's here, so what are you going to do about it? And Mars energy feels harsh. Why? Because Mars is about bringing change, constructive change. So that's something that we need to figure out. Then it moves into great, and then it moves into Anuradha, right? Anuradha is a very interesting nakshatra. Anuradha is after Radha. So and Anuradha is actually yeah, please, this is not a video to ask me about where I am, or where I'm from. Wherever I am, that's not important in this discussion, honestly. Now the qualities of Anuradha, like I said, lotus. Lotus is a symbol or an archway again. Saturn is the ruling planet of Anuradha. And then Mars is going to come head to head with a Saturnine energy in Anuradha. So, and of course, Mars is quite strong because it's his sign. So, of course, that energy, that movement through, thank you, that movement through will be very, very important for all of us. And Anuradha has actually got a sweet energy, if I may say. In Scorpio, it's the sweetest nakshatra. And deity is Mitra, solar. Again, Mitra is another version of the sun. Okay, and Radha, of course, is a deity. So Hare Krishna and Hare Rama prayers will work very well with this. Okay, so some of the famous people, Jimi Hendrix, Tina Turner, with their moon in Vishakha, and Anuradha, sorry. So they're going to go in through, Mars is going to go in through Anuradha and then again reach Jyeshtha. And don't forget, this is exactly where the eclipse is happening, Anuradha and Jyeshtha. So all these things that have to do with the eclipse will again be brought to the forefront, right? Again, we will have to identify, isolate, and see how we do it, right? And then ultimately a bit about Jyeshtha. Jyeshtha is a very difficult energy. Okay, Jyeshtha is known as the eldest. Jyeshtha means eldest. All right. And the earrings or an umbrella is the symbol. And interestingly, I've been working with a switch word called umbrella now, And that means protection. When you say umbrella now, it means you're looking for protection from your spirit guides. So that's very interesting that again, umbrella, I'm getting to talk about that. I just spoke about that a little while ago with a client. It was very interesting, the conversation I had. It's a tamasic energy, and Indra again is a deity. Indra, uh, yes, yes, I'm married. So Indra is the deity here, and in Jyeshtha, this is interesting. Albert Einstein had his moon in Jyeshtha, and also Elvis Presley and Princess Diana. It's very, very eclectic group of people, right? You don't like really put them together. If you think about them, very distinctive flavors of each of these personalities. So here we have Mars movement through Scorpio, that we are going to yeah, I say. So, and then we have a very, very important thing. We have Venus on the 9th moves into Capricorn. Venus on the 9th. So this is happening on eclipse date at 4th. We have the eclipse. In Tithi begins in Anuradha, goes to Jyeshtha. And then we've got that 5th, we've got that Mars forays into Scorpio. So it starts to reignite all of this energy that has just been moving through with the sun and the moon and all of this energy, Mercury and all of that. Now we've got Venus moving into Capricorn, and that's coming up on the 9th. So you see 4th, 5th, 9th. Important dates, guys, very important dates. So we've got of course Venus moves through Capricorn. Venus is going to go retrograde, and that I will talk about. When Venus goes retrograde, she's already in shadow. So what is retrogradation? Do planets really go backwards? No, they don't. From our perspective on Earth, we tend to see that a planet suddenly starts to station. That means it starts to stand still in the skies. And then we are like, okay, the planet is standing still, and our ancestors must have observed that. And astrologers and tantrics and people who work with the spiritual energy noticed that there's this kind of special energy that comes through from this retrogradation. The movement is only visible from Earth. It's not a real astronomical phenomena. And then maybe because we have the whole cosmos present in us, when we look at that movement upwards and we realize that particular archetype has come to a stationary halt, that means it is time we listen, we take notice what happens when we halt. When we say take a moment, smell the roses, what do we mean by that? We mean awareness of everything around us. So remember that when a planet is more than retrograde, I believe, personal experience, that stations are even more important than retrogrades themselves. Station, when a planet appears to be standing still, and then the planet retraces backwards from whence it came, and then again stands still and stationary direct and starts to move through those same degrees again. And yes, of course, this retrogradation and station definitely gives ESP. If you're born with any planet stationing, you know exactly what I mean. Okay, more than the retrogradation, the station holds more energy. So when exactly the planet is grinding to a halt, that is when we really need to look at it. Okay, everybody talks about retrograde, and I have noticed in my personal experience that check for the station degree. That's going to be super important, because it'll literally tell you what's happening. And of course, if you're doing tropical astrology, you can do one better. You can look at Sabian symbols. I love looking at Sabian symbols actually for a more layered understanding of the archetype. So anything that grinds to a halt, right? I don't know. I'm not even dressed up today. I just came back from a walk and I've not even put anything. I've just got lip balm and I feel I look terrible. But I had to come out and make the video. Why? Because I'm trying to build my YouTube audience. Please don't ask me personal questions. What's my age? Am I married? Believe me, it doesn't matter. Just listen to the message. So as I was saying, that we were on Sabian, very nice. We were on Sabian symbols, and Sabian symbols actually give us a lot of clues. You know, they give us a lot of clues as to the degree of the station. Yeah, Yam Sham Rim Prim Shrim Fat Swaha, of course, that one. How can I forget that? Though I do not do that regularly. I like the Om Shrim Yam, of course, but I do something occasionally if I'm going out for a special meeting, which I'll tell you about later. I'll watch another video on that. Yes, I am from India myself, so you know, I don't look at which country you're from or you know what your religion is. I don't care about all that. All I care about is your soul, and if I can help it and if I can give you the right information that can prod you in the right direction, that's all I care about. So I am like that, you know, that idealist, one love and all of that. Anyways, I was saying that Venus moves through Capricorn, right? And again, we have to look at Capricorn. Capricorn begins with Dhanishta. Dhanishta, I've explained to you, ruled by the Ashtavasus. Ruled by the Ashtavasus, Dhanishta. And all the very, very interesting in Sri Chakra, the seventh Avarana is dedicated to Ashtavasus, and it's really something. Let me see if I can find my notes of that particular thing. The seventh Avarana is actually about appeasing the Ashtavasus. Hi, is about appeasing the Ashtavasus. So Ashtavasus in the seventh Avarana. No, 1 second. Yes, we've got that. Now let me take you straight to my PDF. Some of you have a lot of interest has come through for my PDFs. Thank you again. And the Sri Yantra video has an engagement rate that is unbelievable. Thank you. That is all I want to say. Thank you. Now, yeah. Now, the seventh Avarana, right? I've told you that the Sri Chakra is nine Avaranas or enclosures. So, you know, you go, as you go up, you come to the seventh Avarana, which consists of inner 8 chakra. Okay, and I mean, I have, if you're going to do the Sri Yantra workshop with me, I'll show you exactly what it means and you'll draw it out too. And this is called Sarva Rogahara Chakra. Sarva Rogahara Chakra. Sarva means all. Rogahara means that which eliminates disease. Sarva Rogahara, Sarva Rogahara Chakra, the seventh Avarana. And this is connected to the Ashtavasus. And this is where Venus is going to go in Dhanishta. And then Venus is moving through Dhanishta, then will go into Uttarashadha, where it will start, she will start retrograding. And then this is going to be very interesting when I'll get to that. But let me tell you a bit about the seventh Avarana. The seventh Avarana Bij is Reem Shreem So. Reem Shreem So. Reem Shreem So. So this particular mantra can also be very effective for people afflicted with coronavirus or any kind of deadly disease. Sarva Rogahara Chakra. Remember that, okay? And the presiding Devi is Tripura Siddhamba, okay? And she is described as the destroyer of poison. Now, the thing with this is that this 8 inner triangles that I was just telling you about, right? They represent, listen to this, they have yoginis, Ashta yoginis, and they represent cold, heat, happiness, sorrow, desire, and the 3 gunas, sattva, tamas, rajas, okay? And that becomes 8. Now, this 8 vashinis and that rule the 8 Sanskrit letter groups, and they also represent the Ashtavasus. Okay, Ashtavasus rule Dhanishta. Now, this is very interesting because we are going to see some hardcore Dhanishta action right now with Jupiter being in Dhanishta. And of course, then we are going to have Uttarashada, and Venus starts retrograding from Uttarashada, right? And she retrogrades through the Padas. So now we are going to touch base a bit with, we just touched base with Dhanishta, so you understood that energy over there, healing. Remember, Venus always relaxes the body part. She, in the sign that rules, whichever body part that sign rules, she relaxes that part. Okay, so remember that. Now she's moving into Capricorn. So Capricorn has to do with the skeleton, with the bones. Bone density will get affected. Arthritis, very bad arthritis can happen with Venus retrograde. And of course, thyroids can go whacked out, thyroid complications. And they have that that when you have that hormonal imbalance or whatever it's called, they have a more specific name for it. Hormonal imbalance in its totality can be huge. Like I already predicted, there'll be rains. There was untimely rains. I predicted in my video that Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg is going to step down, and other tech CEOs will also step down. And look, that guy Jack Staley or whatever from Twitter has stepped down, and Mark Zuckerberg will also be stepping down. Okay, watch, come March, Mark Zuckerberg will be stepping down as CEO, functioning CEO of Facebook, and in all possibilities, the job will be taken by a woman, maybe of Indian or Oriental origin. Okay, so that's again another thing. And this whole thing about the Twitter guy came as a shock because I just predicted that a lot of the old tech guys who've started their companies are going to be stepping down slowly. Now we've got interesting stuff happening with Venus through Capricorn, and then we've got Mercury on the 10th moves into Sagittarius, and now we know that Sagittarius has Mula, Gandanta sign. Okay, now we are going to get to after Jeshta we've got Mula. Mula begins from 0 degrees of Sagittarius to 1320 of Sagittarius. This is Mula. Okay, Mula is we have a Gandanta sign when a sign is a water sign and it ends in itself. We have a Gandanta Nakshatra, and this starts by itself and ends in itself. Now this is the 19th Nakshatra. 19th Nakshatra. Okay, and it's a very, very complicated Nakshatra. Let me tell you that. It's got a very, very complicated energy signature because it is again ruled by Ketu. So people who are Ketu heavy are going to feel this. They're going to feel Mercury's movement into Mula. Mula is very complex energy, again, very complex energy. And it's in the sign of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is ruled by whom? Let's hear it, Jupiter. So we've got that complexity of Mula that we see also with Ashlesha, another Gandanta sign. And the symbol is very interesting, tied bunch of roots. So when you tie, thank you. So when you tie whole sticks and stems together, they make a bundle, and there's some strength in that. So again, Mula has the strength of, if you decide to come together, there's some strength in that, and that is again Mercury's communication. So thank you. So that's all about communication again, right? And how we express ourselves, our logic, our analysis, our smartness to business. Mercury also signifies all trade. So Mercury going into Mula again will be a completely I know. As I said, I get a lot of mails, not mails, email, yes, but emails, and from people who are from India, and they literally abuse me and say that why don't I make these videos in Hindi, but I can't because I have like most of my views from the US and other different people like you who watch. So, I just can't shift languages because at the end of the day, I make videos to be seen, to be heard, so people can, you know, get what I'm trying to say. There's some stuff that I have here, it's not a lot, it's really minuscule in this great ocean of learning and knowledge. What I have to offer is very, very tiny, very minuscule, but I have to offer it to people who are interested. Thank you. Yes, of course, Purva Bhadrapada. After this, I go into, I think the last video I did was Uttara Falguni. No, Purva Falguni. So I have to catch up with Uttara Falguni, then Hasta, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, I'll get to Purva Ashata. Okay. But let us understand Mercury's foray through Mula. Mula is extremely complicated and yeah, it's extremely complicated, Mula, as I was saying. And the goddess is Niritri. Niritri, I told you, is the goddess of destruction, Mula. And Mula can come with a lot of destructive tendencies. And also, we see in Dasha Mahavidya, we have, of course, Ketu rules Mula. And the Dasha Mahavidya associated to Ketu is actually Dhumavati. Dhumavati reminds me too much of Niritri. Okay, and also we have Lakshmi, right? Niritri is goddess of destruction. So there's this, and yet it has a Sattva Rajas blend. So there's a sattvic component to Mula. There's very sattvic component to Mula, of course, and they are filled with karma or desire. Mula Nakshatra people, there's a desire to have experiences. When we speak about that Sagittarian desire to just have new experiences, and I think that is beautiful in a sense. It's beautiful about Mula. Quite ambitious and independent. I have already made a video on that, Evie. Please check that out. It's called Solar Eclipse on the 4th, 2021, 4th December. It's there on my videos. Just click on my videos. Very in detailed a report that you shall not find anywhere else on that video. In that video, sorry, not on, in that video. As I was saying, that there's this, but hip and sciatica problems can occur for people who have especially Mercury as ruler of their sixth, or Mercury positioned in the sixth, or Mercury aspecting a malefic planet in the sixth. All of these are possibilities. Okay, Mercury again, shoulders, spondylitis, also anxiety. Again, I will stress on this, that when Mercury moves through Mula, the anxiety will be very deep and profound and destructive. But that destruction can be the greatest regenerative power that I completely believe in. So I think we need to look at it like that. Mercury's foray into this great nakshatra. Okay, now 14th is I have everything mentioned in that video. It's Mars, so it's prayogas that you can do. You can do Bagalamukhi prayogas, very, very good for this eclipse. Okay, Bagalamukhi, even mantras. You can't do proper ritualistic puja and all of that. And also working with the Sri Yantra will be very good, very good. Okay, and Jupiter's just gone out of debilitation. So Jupiter's really in a different mindset right now. So, and Jupiter's making a lot of aspects and is in a mutually receptive nakshatra with Mars. So this is actually pretty nice, and we've got Jupiter out of debilitation, and it's great news really. So let us all celebrate this and bring in some really good vibes for everybody out there. That's all I can pray for, everybody out there, not just me and you, for everybody out there, and yes, no, that is in the eclipse video, solar eclipse video. You can watch that details the whole eclipse and everything. Now we have Purvashadha, right? We've got Purvashadha, which again spans from 1320 where Mula ends to 2640 of Sagittarius, Purvashadha. And a fan or a winnowing basket is its symbol. Moksha, so Purvashadha is actually a very spiritual energy, very divine energy, because Purvashadha is motivated by moksha. So that energy of wanting to be spiritually awakened is very strong in Purvashadha. Again, that Sagittarius higher Jupiterian higher ideals, it's really powerful. And we've got Venus as the ruler, and that means that while we are at it, we are enjoying ourselves. Of course, a difficult Venus, and of course depends on how your chart is receiving Venus. But difficult Venus can cause havoc with your life. But no matter what, Venus is still a benefic. Okay, and by just some basic remedies, you can appease Venus quite easily. The lower vibrations of Venus. Okay, let's keep that straight. Because when you learn the Saturnine lesson, only then does Saturn release you into the hands of the higher level Venus, the higher vibration of Venus. That's the second round. Hi. Second round. So we've got the deity is Varuna, or god of rain. Purvashadha deity is Varuna. Now, very proud nature of Purvashadha people, definitely very proud nature. And so Mercury is going to foray through Purvashadha and end at again Uttarashadha. Purvashadha and end at Uttarashadha. Now on the 14th, I was just about to say, and then I got diverted and I started talking about the nakshatras again. Mars and Rahu conjunction in Scorpio. And no earrings today, no makeup today, no getting, even putting some curlers on my hair, unable to do that, not been able to wash my hair either, frizzy. But then I'm trying to, just calm. I had a video calls the whole day, just trying to calm and just do these videos more often to touch base with my subscribers, because the last few months I've just like literally been out of it. Now, no, it's not, it's 10:35. Listen people, Kala Sharpadharsha begins on the 14th pretty much, and then I'm going to come back to Kala Sharpadharsha, and I'm going to explain Kala Sharpadharsha in not great detail, because I think that deserves a separate video, Kala Sharpadharsha, because I get a lot of requests wanting, nobody's yet commissioned it, but I get a lot of requests wanting from people that want to know more about Kala Sharpadharsha. So Sun moves to Sagittarius, Sankranti happens on 15th and 16th. Very sacred day, very powerful day, 15th and 16th. 19th, Venus retrograde exact. Bam. Send me an email, man. I'm not going to explain the process here in the midst of a video, right? Then we have Venus retrograde from 19th to 29th. However, this is almost a 4-month cycle with Venus going retrograde. But yeah, I have to make a Venus retrograde video. My Jupiter is in the Vedic system. My Jupiter is in Gemini. Ooh, when my kitten has come, I want to show him to you. He's very sweet. After that, I will get to use my baby boy. My baby boy. My baby boy. His name is Dumli. He's a Baba boy. Mommy's Baba boy. Now, what was I saying? You wanted to know the placement of my Jupiter. My Jupiter is, my Saturn is in Magha, right? My Sun is in Pusha Nakshatra, believe it or not. My Jupiter is in Punarvasu, the Vargotama Pada, and Jupiter's highest exaltation. I have, but that Jupiter actually is very interesting because in the Vedic system, Jupiter in the 11th house is actually quite a malefic influence of Jupiter, even though I have that Jupiter in its highest exaltation. However, in Hellenistic astrology, we see in the planetary joys breakup that Jupiter has planetary joy. Oh my god. I don't know, I cannot imagine killing a snake. As I was saying, what was I saying? I totally forgot. Anyway, I forgot about that. Let's get back to the video. As I was saying, that then we have Venus retrograde from 19th to 29. This is when the most intensification happens, and Venus and all Venusian themes are, asking us to take a pause, halt, take a look at it, understand it better, assess the situation better. It's just literally like that at that point. And yeah, I know I just went on a ramble, right? I should not start rambling and keep the videos to a decent length time. I don't want to go nuts. Okay, let's get to Kala Sarpadosha. Now we have 4 months of Kala Sarpadosha. Okay, and Venus is retrograding for 6 weeks in Capricorn and Sagittarius. Thankfully, Jupiter is out of exaltation, debilitation, and is in Aquarius. Yes. Now, this is significant, folks, for all of us. I mean, yeah, if you have a Sagittarius ascendant or a Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius Mars, anything in Sagittarius or anything in Pisces, because this is your ruler, right? And your ruler is now stepping out of debilitation. It's going to be huge. Huge. So celebrate while you can, all you Pisces and Sagittarius people. Celebrate while you can, okay? There'll be a lot of optimism, definitely the beginning of the year. Like, watch my video if you haven't already. A lot of optimism is gonna just start pouring out, and then of course reckoning is coming. So eclipses, and now eclipse with Ketu, a solar eclipse with Ketu. That's quite a heavy thing actually. If you ask me, solar eclipses are always with Ketu, but Mercury is also there right now. But this whole solar eclipse thing, right? Pretty intense. So there's going to be like some kind of withdrawal that we can feel with the solar eclipse, like whichever house, of course, very potent where it's happening for you. Now, the Sun, Moon, Mercury and Ketu, 4 planets in this particular, involved in this particular eclipse. So there's going to be this intensification of the scorpionic energy, the depth of Scorpio, the unconscious realms that Scorpio inhabits, and is not afraid to go. You know how Scorpions, they just hide anywhere. They're not afraid to go somewhere. They just find a rock and they go there, literally. Okay? So that is pretty much it. Now I think I want to talk a bit about Kala Sarpadharsha. We've got... Okay. Now Kal is time and Sarpa is snake. So Kala Sarpadharsha, right, is almost like you're swallowed by the serpent, right? It's known as Serpent of Time. Now this is a planet, a sort of a pattern that forms, okay, in which all the visible planets fall on one side of the Rahu and Ketu axis, right? Almost like a bowl pattern, like in a tropical chart if you're thinking of it, right? It's almost like a bowl. It's on one side. So this is what happens with Kala Sarpadosha, is when the Rahu and Ketu are like that, and all the planets, all the visible planets are cloistered in one part of the chart, and these two, the head of the demon and the tail of the demon, They have swallowed the planets. So the planets are in the belly of the Serpent of Time, Kala Sarpadharsha. Right. Now, yeah, it said Kala Sarpadharsha is quite negative, and you must do Kala Sarpadharsha Khandan. And that is, you must have a Havan. A lot of different opinions exist. What kind of Havan? Navagraha Havan, possibly. Um, and see, Kala Sarpa dosha can be, the Khandan can be done through mantras also, which is a completely separate video. I told you, Kala Sarpa dasha. But a lot of people are regularly doing, like he said, that they sacrifice snakes. But what I have seen happen is they do havans of Navagraha, and they offer little serpents, silver serpents that they get made from the jewelry shop. They offer those tiny little silver serpents with a whole thali full of Rahu. Rahu is the head, and Ketu is the tail of the dragon or the snake, the serpent monster. Right, so definitely an unstable energy, Kala Sarpadasha. Now, it can be good, it can be bad. I said it all depends on how you're using the energy. Many prominent people have Kala Sarpa dosha. They have Kala Sarpa dosha in their D9 or Lagna or Nakshatra chart. Right, it's very possible for them to have that. Artists, especially. Now, however, it's not a very favorable thing. Like, excuse me, if your Kundali has Kala Sarpa dosha, then it's generally not looked upon as a favorable thing. All depends, okay? And you can gain greater, and of course, after Rahu and Ketu mature at the age of 49, that is when you really tend to see things for the way they are. 42 to 49, huge maturation happens at that stage. Great losses also. Great losses can happen. It all depends. Yeah, Rudraksh can be a remedy, but it all depends. All right. Now, as I said, that the Rahu and Ketu are not really planets that are visible. They are imaginary points, and that means they are shadowy. They are hidden. Rahu is subversive. So Rahu and Ketu, the spirit of them is almost very shadowy, very can't label them, you know. It's not Raghu, it's Rahu. But yeah, I mean, why not? You can do Durga Devi Puja. In fact, she is the Devi for Kali Yuga. So you can do Durga Devi Puja totally with Kalki Avatar. It's Durga, it's a Shakti. So in fact, if you don't have answers, Durga usually reads to links to Mercury. Okay, like Lalita Tripura Sundari links to Mercury. Okay, many say Matangi links to the sun, many say Matangi links to Mercury. So it's literally the Guru Parampara you are following. And Durga, Dum Durgaya Namaha is a mantra that can be chanted by anyone, especially in Kali Yuga. Because the Kalki avatar's consort is Durga Devi. So, you know, you can invoke her pretty much anytime, and she's a benign form of the mother. She's a protectress. Again, I divert. At least you got to hear the Mula mantra. I mean, the beach, Dum Durgaya Namaha. You can do that in the eclipse. If you don't have any other prayogas or anything else to do, Dum Durgaya Namaha will be very good. Now, what is happening with this is that a lot of these forces that this Kala Sarpa dosha summons, these are astral forces, astral shadowy forces, opposing forces. Rahu, Ketu oppose each other on the axis. So always going to be, you know, push and pull there. Now, Rahu is an addition, you know, it adds to the experience, something if it's bad or good, you don't know. And Rahu subtracts, and Ketu subtracts. So again, good or bad, you don't know. it is not necessary, because Rahu is the principle of addition, that always something good will be added with Rahu. No. And this Mars and Rahu combination will be very interesting, definitely. We could get too pulled towards certain things, or too detached, incorrectly detached, what does not justify our detachment, and we can get detached from things like that. So that's again another complication that could happen. Now this Kala Sarpa yoga, it begins 14th exactly, when Mars moves past Ketu of 6 degrees of Scorpio. Okay, Dum Durgaya Namaha. Okay, so 6 degrees of Scorpio, and they enter the divine realm, the 1 second. So it goes on to 6 degrees of Scorpio. It's in Anuradha that the Kala Sarpa dosha begins, is in Anuradha Nakshatra. Now, what kind of people will be affected here? If you have a Kala Sarpa dosha in your natal chart or in any of your charts, you may be able to solve, okay, you may be able to solve a lot of problems that happen to you. So this will, of course, if any planet is conjunct the nodes, they will get superbly affected, because they are being surcharged by Mars. And if Mars is touching Rahu, then Mars is also activating Ketu, who already happens to be in the domain of Mars. And Mars is touching Ketu, then Mars is already activating Rahu, that's on the opposite side. So same. When you're looking at nodes, if one planet touches Rahu, then Ketu gets affected. If one planet touches Ketu, then Rahu gets affected. So always remember that, okay? And so that's pretty much it, I guess, that thank you. Now after this I do want to make another video before I head out. I do want to make another video. Now I've got that Venus retrograde thing happening. Oh, I want to oh yes, I have an announcement, but I think I'll just come live for that separately in a video, because it's just not going to get any attention at the end of this video. So speak to you soon. Thank you. That was, what possible energies of November that you could expect with the planetary alignments that are taking place. But always you can start Sri Yantra Puja with this particular eclipse. It's very good. Basic Sri Yantra workshops I do offer, and advanced, intermediate as well as advanced. As with any Mahavidya, and with my Devata Uchishta Ganpati, if you want workshops, don't forget to email me and let me know. We've got a lot of catching up to do and a lot of content. In fact, I wanted to say that there's something that's been playing on my mind. I made the sun and the moon combination videos. I don't know who remembers. It was like another era, 2017 or something. Oh, that is so nice. I had this video, right? All these videos that I had made on the sun and the moon combination. Now, the thing is that firstly, those videos are old and I can remake them, which I do want to get into remaking, because the sun, moon, ascendant videos are just too long. Yeah, we are already in the shadow period, but 19th, the exact retrogradation starts till the 29th. So yeah, so as I was saying, that I wanted to see how many of you would be interested if I did the sun and moon combination videos again for 2021. What do I mean? For instance, you have an Aries sun and an Aries moon. I make a video about that. You have an Aries moon and a Taurus sun. I make a video about that. You have a Gemini moon, you have a Cancer sun, you have a Leo moon and a Virgo sun. I just throw them all haywire, like, you have there are 12 sun signs and 12 moon signs, and the combination of that. So I want to know, you can drop me an email, you can leave a comment, or you can just drop me a Facebook message or an Instagram message telling me what you think about this idea, who wants the archetypal explanation, the psychological, spiritual explanation of the combination of sun and moon signs. Now, please tell me how many of you will be interested. And don't forget to book your own reading, and I'll see you soon in a little while, with some new content. I was thinking I'd go down with, I already have a commission to do Venus Retrograde tropical, thank you, tropical astrology, Venus Retrograde. All the Western tropicals dates and degrees. So nice, nice. So I was thinking I'm going to possibly do that, yeah, Venus retrograde, and go a bit about that, or I don't know. I do have Rahu and Ketu Vedic videos that I have not done. So those videos are pending, and people keep asking me to make videos on Rahu and Ketu. Like how I've made for Jupiter, I've made for yeah. So I was thinking, why don't I redo them this time with the decans and all of that? And you know, I don't know. Tell me, what do you think? Because I do get, a lot of people wanting to know more about their sun moon combination. So that's something I could do. And I was thinking that, maybe I can get 12 videos a day, which is about 10 minutes of video. So it's about 120 minutes of work. And yeah, I was much younger back then. Yeah, but it's great to be young, but it's great to accept when you change. I like that. So, yeah, it was a completely different time for me. I do agree. But it was interesting. And now we've got Mercury Direct, in fact, okay, with the superior junction. You have to drop me an email to book a reading or to book a workshop. You have to drop me an email at tina@tinaheals.com. Tina@tinaheals.com. Right? Oh, okay. So what should it be next? Should it be Venus retrograde tropical? Because that's something I have to do anyway. I've got to do that. So let me just get straight to that. Venus retrograde tropical. And yeah. And then, of course, I want emails. I want all of you to tell me what you think about me remaking the sun moon combination videos, if you're interested at all in that. The sun moon combination videos, remake them. So take care. See you soon. Now it's just a matter for me to decide which video will be next, actually. So I've got the Rahu Ketu video that's pending. And I've got that, I think it'll be Venus retrograde. Let me get this done with anyways. I have to do it. So, I didn't understand what you tried to say. Which, when, and what dominates. I don't understand. Which planet is the dominant planet you mean in your natal chart? You have to get a reading for that, sweetie. Okay? I come out here so you guys will get to see my level of expertise, my explanation, the unique way I look at astrology, because every astrologer has their unique way of looking at astrology and decoding astrology. Every astrologer out there has their unique take on astrology. So you guys can basically book readings, and donations are very appreciated. And thanking all those people that wanted PDFs of my book on Sri Yantra. Soon I shall be releasing a book on Uchishta Ganpati. Okay. Wow, it's an hour. I thought it's like 30 minutes since I started talking. Okay, I gotta go now. And take care, class. And oh wow, yes, I did speak. Yes, I'm going to speak about Venus retrograde in the tropical system next, which is not the Vedic. So please don't come onto that video and start saying Venus is not there, Venus is not here. We are talking about Western tropical astrology that is based on the sun's movement, and the sun coming into Aries is 0 degrees. Okay, that's not based according to the calculations with the sidereal fixed stars. Yeah, that's a good one. But no, I was talking about the sun moon combination. I don't know how many of you are interested in that sun moon combination. Okay, now let me come back to you in, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. Let me just get myself some water. And anyway, I did not dress up today because I literally did not have the time. I want to come more dressed up, but maybe tomorrow or day after. Like I said, I'm going to be back on YouTube with a vengeance. I've not had the time or the, the headspace to do it, but I'll be back with a vengeance. See you soon, guys. Bye. Richard!